Every time that comes on, it scares me. But anyway, all right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Let's Talk Java. I am your host, Laarni Mulvey, and today I have another amazing guest, Julia Piechota. I said her name right, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to spell it wrong, and then she's going to send me a message to tell me that I spelled it wrong, which is okay. But today wanted to highlight Julia. She is another person that I met at Crystal Richardson's Emerge Media experience, probably almost a month ago exactly today. So wanted to bring her on because the value that she brings in her services and her goods is something that everyone should use if you're looking for a relationship coach and someone that can help you live a great life and be healthier with yourself when it comes to relationships. So I'm going to turn this over to Julia and let her introduce herself. But first, before we do that, the first question I usually ask my guests is, what's in your cup? So today I have in my Hello Kitty cup. If everyone know, yes, I love Hello Kitty. I've loved Hello Kitty since I was young. So I have a few Hello Kitty cups that I use back and forth. But today is Aroma Joe's from Johnny Ahern out on the East Coast. This is probably my last few grinds of the coffee, so I'm going to have to beg him to send me another one. But that's what I have in my cup. So Julia, what do you have in your cup today?
Well, first off, good morning, Laarni. Thank you so much for having me on. In my cup, I have some pomegranate green tea.
Oh, what?
A pomegranate green tea.
Oh, pomegranate. I thought you said Rudy Tooty, and I was like, you mean like I have? You know how sometimes the virtual sounds are like, it gets muffled at times. So all I heard was Rudy Tooty. I was like, oh, like I have.
Yes. Nope. No Rudy Tooty here, but some lovely pomegranate green tea.
And your cup is very, very encouraging. So it says get it done. So we are going to get it done today. All right. So introduce yourself, Julia. Let us know a little bit more about yourself and what you do.
Sure. So again, my name is Julia Piechota, and I am a life coach. So I specialize in helping women with working on relationships and their mindset. And this, just to give you a little bit of background, what led me on this journey is I became super frustrated in my dating experience back in 2013. And back then it was just kind of attracting the same pattern of men over and over again. And it left me feeling super frustrated. So at that point in time, I'm like, I'm not going to, continue repeating this vicious cycle, because we all know when we repeat it over and over again, that's insanity. So I'm like, not going to stay in that.
That's right.
So I ended up going out to the library, and I just read every single dating book I could get my hands on. And little did I know at that time that those dating books were actually going to lead me to a different type of book that was going to truly just transform my life in general. And the book that I ran across was called You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay. And this book, I mean, I read self-help books in the past, and this book just hit me completely different than any other book that I ran across. So I kind of view it more as like a spiritual self-help book. And this really got you into like your mindset and healing your past. So, kind of looking at your childhood experiences and beyond that. And some of us might hold on to, let's say, bitterness or anger or resentment towards people that did things to us in our lifetime, and we just carry it around with us. Well, this opened me up to learning how to release it and how to truly forgive people and to move forward with a different mindset. My mindset that I had growing up in my family, and I love my family, like I absolutely love them, and I am super grateful for the way that I did grow up, because then it just kind of allowed me to work through my mindset that I had. But what I learned was how to be negative, how to worry all the time. And, just that it's that really controlling mindset, that having that power over things that, when we think yeah, I'm going to try to like control this so it doesn't go haywire. So I thought if I worried about these things, if I kept tab on these things, that they would get better. And I would just kind of like complain all the time because that's what I learned growing up. And there's nothing against that. But this book was like just a whole new way of like being as a person. And it blew my mind. I won't forget like being in my kitchen and I was listening to one of Louise's meditations, and it was kind of talking about, like seeing your mom and your dad as a child, and, seeing how they went through their experiences and like offering, to forgive them. And I'm like, wow, okay, this is like completely life changing. And that was just that tip of the iceberg that led me on this path, that really brought me here today. And since it impacted me so much, I'm like, it was in that moment where I was like, oh my gosh, I know what I want to do for a living. I want to become a life coach.
Wow.
So from that point, I'm like, I want to share this stuff with the world because I felt like my life was like a lot of struggle. It was a lot of pain, a lot of pain. Like I dealt with 10 years of anxiety. And I'll share with the listeners that I think what I learned about, my 10 years of anxiety was constantly feeling like you have to like worry, complain, try to control everything. I learned, how to forgive, how to surrender. And I could feel like that anxiety was just really starting to lessen over time. And it didn't affect me as badly as it did. Now, this is a process. It took a while to learn. It took a while to like feel into the body and let go of that anxiety. Because in the beginning, I would always hold on to it. But I had so much transformation that I'm like, I want to get out there. I want to share this with the world. And I don't know how in depth you want me to go with this story because I feel like I have a lot. But I guess what I can share as far as what made me want to work with women, from that point of my mindset changing, I started to believe in myself and I felt like, okay, I want to become this life coach. So I went back to school. So I went back to school as a 35-year-old adult woman who never went to college before, kind of took night classes in my younger years. So I want to share this part because I believe that it's very impactful for anyone that may not believe in themselves and what's possible for them. But I want you to picture this. So here I am, like at my full-time job, and I've made this decision that I want to go back to school and I want to become a life coach. So here I am, 35 years old, and I had to go back and take these tests, to make sure you can take these acuplacer tests and pass them and get accepted in. Well, because my grades weren't that amazing in high school for like chemistry.
Oh gosh.
and a lot of other things, I ended up having to teach myself like English, like certain things with English again to be able to pass it. I had to relearn algebra, to be able to get accepted in. So it was like going to the library again, getting these books, and I would sit at the second floor of the office building I worked in on my breaks and on my lunch period, and I would sit like on my butt on the floor and like reteach myself like algebra and English and all kinds of like, the basic math skills, whatever else we needed to learn to be able to go and sit for these tests because I wanted to get accepted in.
Right.
But I wouldn't have done that if I didn't read that book, if I didn't start learning how to reprogram my mind and, view life in a different perspective.
I feel like when there's that one thing, that one moment, that reflective moment that changes your life, it's mind-blowing. Like for me, it was knowing I had to go through those. I had to do the same thing for myself. I had to do that inner work to become this woman that I built, that was here talking with you today. It's like, I'm going to be 45. Yeah, 45 this year. I had to think about that for a second. I'm going to be 45 this year, and it's still taken me, it's taken me like 30 plus years to turn around and like say, you know what, stop it. I'm not going to live like this ever again. But now it's like this new chapter. It's taken me forever. So I totally relate with being the adult, going back as an adult learner. I love it when they call us that, adult learners. You're going back as an adult learner. And because I went back to undergrad in my 30s as well. You know, I think I like finished my master's when I was almost like mid 30s.
Okay.
And it was like, oh my God, what am I doing? And again, you know, like sometimes we have to take that one experience that kicks us in the butt pretty much. It kicks us in the butt and makes us like turn around and go, you know, what is going on? I never ever want to do this ever again. So how am I going to fix this? And then, you know, we find things that are going to help us. Like for me, it was more like fitness stuff. Like I wanted to do something active, and but like there's so much I learned about myself through fitness that's brought me to like powerlifting today. But now that challenge of like the confidence, it's like, okay, next level up, you know? So when you're reading this book, I know I've asked you how to say her name, Louise Hayes.
Hay, just Hay.
Okay. So you read this book, you have an epiphany, you go back to school, and then now you're living your life now, today.
Yes.
How is the cycle beginning? How is this happening for you? How are you enjoying this new cycle for yourself?
Well, I'm enjoying it very much. I am filled with so much gratitude just for being able to be on this journey. I've had lots of ups and downs like throughout this process. This isn't like you read this book and everything magically happens for you. That was not it. I've had a lot of very low moments in life, but I am so appreciative for everything that has happened because I feel like it's just more of these puzzle pieces, you know, coming together as I keep venturing through life, and I'm enjoying it. Like that's all I can say. And you know, you saying how you get to kind of those moments in life where they're like, no more, no more. This journey has had those low moments, and a lot of these low moments are more fuel to keep just propelling things forward and to keep going. Because I feel like for me, I believe in God, and I feel like He created me to kind of like go on this journey and to learn these things and then to do, you know, what everybody kind of likes to do, or this saying everybody likes to say when they get on a particular path. You know, learn how to turn your pain into purpose. And I feel that has been just all these obstacles, all these super low, devastating moments in life. It's like more pieces of the puzzle, you know, more ways to niche down and figure out who your absolute ideal client is, you know, things like that, relating to people that way.
The one word I feel like that's been following me around the past like 2 weeks, and you actually said it, was surrender. That's followed me. Somebody else said that to me. It's like, hey, Laarni, you need to surrender. And I was like, what the hell does that mean? So I'm not going to quit. So, but surrender can mean so many different things. It has a different perspective for different people. So when you say surrender, what is your perspective on your version of surrender?
So I like to look at it like this. Surrender. I like surprises. So I'm like, if you're going to do something special, you know, buy me a gift or whatever, surprise me with something, I don't want to know about it. So it's that sitting back and curiosity of, you know, I want this thing to happen, or I'm struggling, you know, with my finances. To me, it's praying. So it's asking for something that I want to receive, and then kind of sitting back and then allowing things to kind of unfold. So for me, it's making sure that I'm not so like caught up and on the go and busy, because we can't really hear like our inner guidance when we need to take those action steps. So still practicing, stillness or reflection to connect to what my next steps would be to get this certain thing that I want. But I look at surrender as I've heard the word letting go. Like people kept telling me over the so many years of my life, you just need to let go. And I'm like, that's the worst advice you could give someone, especially someone that has anxiety and our mind is ruminating.
Like, how does that complement your anxiety when you're like, just let it go, and you're just like,
Yeah. So I look at it like, hey, well, could you just surrender this as all right, well, can you just put it out there and sit back in curiosity and kind of watch things unfold, watch new people come into your life and just be grateful for that unfolding of what's coming in. Pay attention to the synchronicities that are lining up with what you're asking for. That's the cool part to me. And that's like a different perspective of how I am looking at surrender, or the common advice of you just need to let go.
Oh, I love that. I love that perspective of surrender. Like from when I think about surrender, I was actually, I do my daily strength post, right? So I was like thinking about what can I talk about today? And I thought about the word surrender, and I thought about the word battle, like it's a battle, but I'm going to be prepared. And so in my mind, now that you're saying it's like this different perspective of surrender, it's just waiting. It's sitting still and understanding like who you are and putting yourself out there. It's like dating. You put yourself out there and you have to wait. You're gonna have these, crazy things that you see and observe, and it's like, no, yes, no. It's like that's, to me, that's when it comes to like dating, because I'm not dating anymore, obviously, but like the whole my husband's probably like, wait a minute, what?
I'm glad you're not dating anymore, Laarni.
It's just like that different perspective of how to connect with people. Right. And surrender. It's we've talked about this before about like resistance. Mm-hmm. It like resistance is part of surrendering. Like you gotta let some things in, you gotta let some things out, and it changes your mindset. And you talk about mindset so much that I think that's important, So so tell us about your coaching. I would love to know more about your coaching. So tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. So with my coaching, as I said, I work with women, women who are, I should say single women who are in a place where they're feeling frustrated. Someone that is at a point in their life where they're like, I'm so frustrated of these same results that I'm receiving. I'm ready to break free and actually learn this new way of going for these things that I want to be experiencing in my life. So with my coaching program, so I work with individuals one-on-one right now, and I also offer a 6-week program that's kind of like this introductory to what it's like to work with a coach, maybe for someone that isn't ready to fully dive into a long-term coaching package. When I'm working with someone, it's getting to the processes. I basically have it around like kind of 6 pillars that I work through. So it involves a process of self-discovery, learning who they are, where they're desiring to go within their lives. And what is their why behind it? That's always important to know our why. And just getting that solid foundation of, what are the desires of my heart that maybe I have been ignoring or brushing away because I don't feel like they're possible for me. So getting to that, going through the healing process of taking that bird's eye view of looking at your past, maybe what things you could have experienced in your past that are currently holding you back, what might be self-sabotaging you or just keeping you from going after those things that you're truly desiring to experience in your life. So when I say bird's eye view, A lot of times with programs, where they help you to heal your past, you get into this cycle where you kind of get stuck there and you're always in this mode of constantly trying to fix yourself. This was something that I had learned from, doing a lot of this inner work. And I'm not going to keep my clients stuck in that. Like, I'm going to help them to move beyond that. So once we learn about the past, how it's affecting their thinking and keeping them stuck from experiencing what they want to experience in life, really recreating themselves. So reinventing that person that, that woman currently is, because we know that we can't create something new with the old. So really developing these new kind of like skills that you can apply to your life, new mindsets, new ways of really being as a person. So with me as a coach, I really just, ask more like the thought-provoking questions to get to the root cause of what's holding someone back. So if someone came to me, and they're like, man, I keep getting in these toxic relationships. Like, I keep attracting men, that are hurting me, that these relationships aren't going anywhere and they're leaving me feeling like crap. I would want to uncover with that individual, well, what is the root cause, that's keeping them stuck in these relationships or attracting them over and over again? What is it that may have happened in their past where they could be at a point where they're like, you know what, I don't deserve anything better. Like, this is as good as it gets, and I'm just going to stay with this person.
Yeah.
So I would say empowering women too, to not keep repeating those patterns, because you guys, you're worth so much more than that. You deserve to be with someone who treats you well. And I firmly believe that we can't have these healthy relationships until we work on the relationship that we have with ourselves. So it's
Totally 100%.
Yeah, it's 100%
agree. Yeah, it's funny that we have the same mindset when it comes to working on ourselves. Like, you had to really face yourself and really face a lot of the difficult questions, and you have to answer those difficult questions for yourself, and not just like a superficial like answer. You have to, like, we've talked about this before, like, you have to really go deep and like understand why we're thinking like this, and why do I feel like this about myself, and but we also have to make sure that we're not dwelling in that,
right?
Because if you dwell, you're going to stay that stuck feeling.
Yes.
And you're not going to move forward. And I think that is very important for us, well, for women, single women. I keep forgetting I'm not dating. Single. My husband's be like, stop it. But like, for single women to understand that they are, well, for me, like in my business, I make women understand. I encourage women to be the strongest version of themselves.
Yes.
And it's very important to have that, because then you can't move forward.
Right.
So so this is our toot section for Let's Talk Java. So what is coming up for you? Anything, any summits that you're going to be on? Any like speaking engagements, or like, this is where you can, just talk about what you got.
Yes. So I will be on the Standing with Strength Summit with Laarni Mulvey on June 24th. That is what I have. I don't have any other speaking engagements lined up as of yet. I am enrolling for my 6-week program at the end of this month. So anyone interested in, getting going on the process to truly start uncovering themselves and creating a healthy relationship so they can have a more fulfilling life and more fulfilling relationships with the people around them. That's something that I will be enrolling for again the end of this month. So taking individuals now, where I offer a free discovery session to see if coaching is right for them. that is what I have. And also something that has just been kind of surfacing is I'm really giving some deeper consideration on starting to write my book. So
yay! That is exciting. That is exciting. I mean, I think I love your story. B, I think it's very relatable to a bajillion people. So I'm gonna nudge you to write that book. You need to do that. Second, how do people get a hold of you?
So they can follow me on Facebook under Julia Piechota. I'm going to just spell the last name for you so you have that. Piechota is Piechota. You can also find me under Julia Piechota on Instagram as well. But there I have both my personal page and business page. And then for any single woman looking to get involved in a Facebook group, I do have my Facebook group. You can reach the link on my page, but the name of that group is called Becoming Badass.
Oh, see, that's the new one. I didn't know that either. I'll make sure to put all this stuff in the show description. So when people are looking for you, they can just click and go and get to your page right away. So, right. But Julia, thank you so much for being on Let's Talk Java today. It's been a very awesome conversation. And I'm pretty sure we can talk for like another 30, 40 minutes about crazy stuff. But I know our audience is like, okay, what's next? So we'll definitely be bringing you back for a part 2 of what's going on with you. But thank you for giving us a few minutes of your time, talking about your services and everything. I'm so glad that you were able to get your message out to everybody, because I think it's very, very important to have healthy relationships, not just with people around you, but with yourself. It's very important. So everybody, that's this episode of Let's Talk Java with Julia Piechota. I almost said Piechota. No. It's Julia Piechota. So you guys have a wonderful day. Be kind, be loving, and be awesome to one another. And we will catch you guys in the next episode. So we'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.
Thank you.